Gentlemen, I want you to take a moment and imagine something with me. Picture yourself waking up tomorrow morning and feeling a kind of firmness and vitality you haven't felt in years, maybe even decades. Not because of a pill, not because of some artificial pump, and not because of any risky procedure that leaves you worried about side effects. Instead, imagine achieving that natural strength using nothing more than your own two hands, a few minutes of your time, and some very specific techniques that work with your body, not against it. My name is Dr. Roella. I'm a men's health specialist and sexologist who has spent over a decade studying men's health and helping thousands of men reclaim their sexual vitality and confidence. In my years of practice, one of the most common concerns I hear from men over 40, 50, and 60 is the loss of something they once took for granted, morning erections. Those automatic, almost effortless signals of vitality that used to appear without thought often start fading with age, leaving men wondering if they've permanently lost that spark. But here's the good news. You have far more control than you think. In fact, today, I'm going to walk you through 3 powerful pressure points located on and around the male anatomy that can help reactivate your natural erection mechanism. When stimulated the right way, these points improve blood flow, relax the smooth muscles that need to open, and sharpen nerve responsiveness. Together, they can help bring back strong, natural morning erections. No pills, no gimmicks, no surgeries. By the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly where these pressure points are, how to stimulate them safely, and how often to do it for the best results. But before we dive into the step-by-step instructions, I need you to understand why this works. Because once you grasp the science, you'll realize you're not simply pressing on skin. You're tapping into a deeply wired system in your body that was designed to produce firm, reliable erections for a lifetime. Let's start with the basics. Erections are not random mechanical events. They are the result of a beautifully orchestrated interaction between your brain, your spinal cord, your blood vessels, your nerves, and your muscles. It all begins with nerve signals. When your brain perceives arousal, either through direct touch, erotic thoughts, or even unconscious nighttime activity, it sends tiny electrical messages down your spinal cord and into the erectile tissue of your penis. These messages tell the smooth muscle fibers inside the penis to relax. The moment they relax, blood rushes into the spongy chambers known as the corpora cavernosa. As these chambers fill, they expand like balloons, pressing against the surrounding tissue. This pressure compresses the veins that normally drain blood out of the penis, effectively trapping blood inside and creating firmness. Think of it as a dam system. The arteries open wide, blood flows in at high speed, and the exit gates, veins are clamped shut, keeping everything contained. The result? A strong erection. But as with all biological systems, age changes the equation. Over the years, several subtle shifts happen inside the body. Blood vessels lose elasticity, meaning they don't expand as easily. This reduced flexibility makes it harder for blood to rush in and stay put. Conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and chronic inflammation speed this process up, leaving the pelvic circulation sluggish. At the same time, the nervous system slows down. Electrical signals that once traveled lightning fast from the brain to the penis now take longer and arrive weaker. It's as if the wires carrying the message have frayed a little, and the signal isn't as crisp or strong as it once was. This combination, sluggish circulation plus weaker nerve signaling, is one of the main reasons morning erections gradually disappear after the age of 50 or 60. For many men, this feels like an unavoidable part of aging. But here's the truth. You can reawaken and retrain these systems. And one of the simplest, most effective ways to do that is through pressure point stimulation. When you press or massage certain points on and around your manhood, you're not just moving skin. You're activating clusters of sensory nerves that connect directly into reflex pathways linked to erection control. These signals don't stay localized. They travel into the pelvic nerve plexus, then up into the sacral region of the spinal cord, which houses your body's natural erection center. Once stimulated, this network tells the smooth muscles to relax, the arteries to widen, and blood to flow more freely. But that's not all. Some of these points also influence your pelvic floor. Muscles, the hammock-like muscles that stabilize and support erections. By stimulating them, you can actually improve muscle tone and responsiveness, making erections not only easier to achieve, but also easier to maintain. Think of it as upgrading both the software and the hardware at the same time. You're resetting the system, refreshing the signal, and training the body to respond more efficiently, like rebooting a computer that's been running slow for years. Pressure point number 1, the base groove. The first pressure point is known as the base groove. This is located right at the root of your penis, the exact spot where the shaft meets the pubic area. To find it, run your fingers along the underside of the shaft until you reach the place where the erectile tissue seems to blend into the deeper structures anchored inside the pelvis. You'll notice a slight groove or indentation here. Why is this spot important? Just under the skin lies a dense network of sensory nerve endings, including branches of the dorsal nerve of the penis, as well as critical blood vessel junctions that feed into the erectile chambers. In other words, this is a control hub where nerves and blood vessels converge. When you stimulate this area, you're lighting up both the neural pathways and the vascular system simultaneously. It's like pressing a master switch that turns on the communication between brain, spinal cord, and penis. How to stimulate the base groove. Place your thumb directly over the base groove while your fingers cradle the back of the shaft for support. Apply moderate pressure, not painful, but enough to feel the tissue beneath. Make slow circular motions with your thumb, letting the warmth of your touch spread. Gradually increase firmness if the tissue feels softening or loosening beneath your touch. You may notice subtle sensations, a gentle warmth, tingling, or even a sense of fullness. Those are signals of improved blood flow and enhanced responsiveness. Do this for about 90 seconds daily. Ideally, in the morning before you even rise from bed or in the shower when heat has already relaxed your tissues. Over weeks of consistent practice, you'll retrain sensitivity and responsiveness in this hub, setting the stage for stronger morning erections. Pressure point number 2, the perineum. The second point lies in a more hidden spot, the perineum, which is the soft patch of tissue between the scrotum and the anus. Many men completely overlook this area, but in terms of erection strength, it's a powerhouse. Why? Because the perineum sits directly above the bulb spongiosus muscle, a key player in erection support. This muscle acts like a clamp that traps blood inside the penis once you're aroused, ensuring that firmness is maintained. Over time, however, this muscle weakens, especially if not engaged regularly, leading to less dependable erections. How to stimulate the perineum. Sit comfortably or lie on your back with knees apart. Using your index and middle fingers, press gently but firmly into the center of the perineum. Make slow, deliberate circles, holding steady pressure. Continue for about 2 to 3 minutes. As you massage, you may feel warmth radiating toward the penis or a faint pulsing sensation. These are signs of improved circulation and muscle activation. For added benefits, pair this with Kegel exercises before or after. This combination strengthens the pelvic floor while also boosting blood flow. Pressure point number 3, the glans corona. The third and final point is at one of the most sensitive regions of male anatomy, the corona or ridge where the head of the penis meets the shaft. This area is packed with thousands of sensory nerve endings responsible for transmitting arousal signals to the spinal cord. When stimulated gently and rhythmically, the corona sharpens nerve responsiveness, making it easier to transition from arousal into a full erection. How to stimulate the corona. Hold the penis gently with thumb and forefinger placed on either side of the ridge. Apply light pressure firm enough to feel but never uncomfortable. Hold for 5 seconds, then release. Repeat for 1 minute. Switch to slow circular motions around the entire ridge for another minute. The goal is not to overwhelm, but to gently recondition the nerves, teaching them to fire more quickly and efficiently, like tuning up the body's arousal circuitry. Now that you know the 3 points, here's the full sequence I recommend. Base groove, 90 seconds of circular pressure. Perineum, 2 minutes of steady massage. Corona, 2 minutes of hold and release, followed by circular motion. In total, this takes less than 6 minutes per day. But those minutes can completely reset how your body responds to arousal and restore the strong, reliable morning erections you've been missing. I want to set expectations properly. This is not an overnight miracle button. Your body needs time to adapt, retrain, and strengthen the systems that support erections. Most men begin noticing subtle changes within 2 to 4 weeks, such as warmth in the mornings, firmer erections that last a little longer, or increased sensitivity. With consistent practice, results compound over time, leading to stronger, more reliable function. Supporting habits for maximum results. Pressure point work is powerful on its own, but the benefits multiply when combined with healthy lifestyle choices. Stay hydrated. Blood flow depends on adequate volume and fluidity. Pelvic floor exercises. Regular Kegels strengthen the muscles you stimulate with the perineum technique. Nutrition. Foods rich in antioxidants, omega-3s, and nitric oxide precursors like leafy greens and beets improve vascular health. Sleep. Deep sleep supports testosterone levels, which influence erection strength. Movement. Regular exercise keeps circulation robust and prevents vessel stiffness. When you create an environment where circulation, nerves, and muscles all work together smoothly, your body becomes far more responsive. Gentlemen, weaker or disappearing morning erections are not an inevitable life sentence of aging. Your body still has the blueprint for strong natural performance. It simply needs the right cues and stimulation to remember how to function. By pressing these 3 pressure points every day, the base groove, the perineum, and the corona, you can retrain your nerves, improve circulation, and restore muscle responsiveness. It's safe, drug-free, and entirely within your control. Commit just a few minutes daily, and in return, you may reclaim not only firmer morning erections, but also greater overall confidence and vitality. I encourage you to try this routine consistently for the next month. Pay attention to the changes in your body and share your results. Remember, sexual health is not separate from overall health. It's a mirror of your circulation, your muscle tone, and your vitality as a whole. Take care of your body, stimulate these points daily, and you'll discover that age does not have to mean the end of strong, reliable erections.